Okay, so we started talking about uh, text mining chapter. So there are a few important things for you to please pay attention to. Okay, so please make sure that you are listening to these carefully. Okay, so we started talking about
Okay, this is important.
yes, few important things I'll mention. So please pay attention to that. Okay. We started talking about text mining, and we said that text data is around 85 to 95% of all corporate data. Okay, which means that, and this data is in unstructured form as as text. And it is doubling in size, so it is from business point of view, it has become very, very important. So today I'll talk about semi-automated, how to deal with the knowledge data and so on. So eventually, last time we mentioned that data and text mining have the same purpose. They both are looking for patterns. Patterns could be clusters in structured data, or pattern could be clusters in document and so on. So we're very similar. And again, we discussed that the main differences is in the type of data that they deal with. Okay, structured versus unstructured, and how you keep them. Unstructured data is mostly found in documents, PDF files, text files, and so on. Okay, now a lot of applications we discussed last time, so this is where we will start today. Now please, brothers, this is where something very important to note. This chapter has a lot of terms and concepts to understand. Okay, and if I start putting that in, the slides will become too long, and you already have the slides, right? So what I have done here is that I have added on 2 or 3 slides page numbers of the book. Okay, which means that you have to understand, for example, these things, differences. I'm going to explain it now, but when you're preparing for the exam, it will not be enough. So to understand these terms, you have to go to page 273. So if you have a slide, please make note, because the slide that you have that I uploaded earlier did not have the page numbers. Okay, so you need to note these page numbers. The page number is for this particular slide, and then the next slide. Yeah, this is chapter 5 we are doing. Yeah, so 2 of the pages are containing page numbers. Please make sure you make note of that. If you do not make note of that, it may cause problem to you. Okay, because these concepts are some of them you may think that it means this, but it may mean something else. Okay, so while you're preparing for it, you must look at those precise definitions given in the song. So I'm saying that brother, I'm saying that this chapter, now where I'm starting. So this chapter has a lot of terms and concepts as compared to other chapters. Many of them, many new terms to explain. Okay, so I have not put them on slides. So just for this particular chapter, you must go to certain pages in the book.
Only this chapter?
Of course, the other chapters are fine, but I'm saying it's a must. If you don't go there, it will be
No,
responsible.
I mean for this one.
I'm already saying it that you must.
Okay.
And I'm pointing towards specifically certain pages that if you don't look at it, it may cause big problem to you during the exam. Okay, because all fundamental ideas are just listed here, but defined in the book on that certain page. Okay, so this is not available, the page numbers are not available on the blackboard.
Can we
Make note, because once I upload it, so now I just made those edits. So please take a picture, or if you have slides, just write it on the slide. Okay, so mainly it's 273, 274, 275, these 3 pages, and it is just mentioned here. Okay, so please you can take a picture if you like. Okay, but please, I'm just emphasizing that. Okay, so let me explain, how you can understand that. So if you go to the book, so I'm going out for a second. Okay, so it says page 273, right? So I'm going to go to the book, and do you see here page number? Just go and say page 273. Okay, so once you go on there, this is page 273. Okay, and if you go down there, for example, page 273, this mentions information extraction, topic tracking, summarization, categorization, clustering, concept linking, question answering, right? So you can see here all these are defined here. Okay, so this is what I mean. You have to look at that. So I'm going to explain now, but please, when you are preparing for the exam, you must not forget that you have to check it here. Okay, so information extraction, identification of key phrases and relationship within text by looking for predefined object sequences in text by way of pattern matching. So it basically says that you have words coming in certain order, and you have phrases
Words coming in
order. Like some words come before another word. Just like this, phrases. Like a phrase is called text mining. They always come like this: text mining, text mining, text mining. Two words together, right? So information extraction is picking up all those patterns and relationship. Right? You understand that? So it is about identification of key phrases. Key phrases means text mining is a phrase, right? Or and so on. Or Saudi Bank. They always come like Saudi Bank in text, right? Or Vision 2030. Right? So it comes like, you can see that they always come in 2 words, 3 words, 2-3 words combination, right? So not only it picks up those phrases, but relationship, meaning that which word is always coming before and which word is coming always after, right? So this is called information extraction. Now then we have
the word trade off.
Yeah, normally trade off is written as a single word.
Yeah,
it's not written as 2 words.
But it can be separate trade and
if it is separate, then you can. Okay. Then topic tracking, based on user profile and documents that a user use, text mining and predict other documents of interest. So you understand topic, the word keyword here is tracking, meaning that the documents that I normally read has certain phrases in them, right? Then you find another document that is carrying the same information, same phrases.
Like keywords?
Kind of, you can see it like keywords. So for example, I keep reading documents which talks about cryptocurrency, bitcoins and all those things. And the document find another one, 2 documents, one talking about bitcoins, cryptocurrencies and so on, and the other one talking about human resource and hiring and those things. It has, the 2 documents have very different keywords, but based on my previous, the documents that I typically read, because it keeps talking about cryptocurrencies and blockchain, and so it is able to track that. Oh, it seems like the same, so it can suggest that it might be a document of your interest. Document tracking. Okay. So topic tracking based on user profile and documents that a user views. Text mining can predict other documents of interest to the user. Is that clear? Right? Based on user profile, so it has to do with a person, user profile, and the documents that typically user use. Summarization. I'm going to show you what summarization means by one specific tool. They can be multiple tools. So have you seen something called word cloud? Have you ever seen word clouds before? Word cloud, I'm sure you have seen word clouds, but now you will recognize what word clouds are. But word cloud is actually a text mining tool. It's not a fancy graph, people generate. It is actually a tool used. This is generated by text mining. So, for example, I gave you, a text that has 20 pages. I don't know what is being discussed in that 20 pages. I need a summarization of what is being discussed. Can you see? Can you tell me what this document is explaining? Motivation, mainly motivation, but around motivation, talking about success, lifestyle, positive activity, inspiration, challenge, business coaching, smaller and larger. Can you see how summarization is done? So summarization is about capturing a large document or set of documents into something simple, small like this. And word cloud is only one of those data mining tools that can do summarization, because summary is something small, short, and that captures whatever is going on in something big, right? So have you seen abstracts in papers?
Yes.
Abstracts, right? So abstracts just tell me whatever is in the paper. So abstract is a summary, right? So you understand what summarization is? Summarizing a document to save time on part of the reader. Categorization and clustering. Let me remind you of something we did in Orange about driver data. Okay? So I told you that we have a driver data set. Find me if there are any groups, right? And we plotted it, and then eventually we see two groups. You remember two groups?
Yes.
Same clustering. Different topics being discussed in different documents. One is about motivation, maybe the other is about government, maybe the other is about currencies, right? Same clustering concept is applied here. But clustering is when you do not know how many groups. You understand that? So you do not know how many groups. So when you do not know how many groups, grouping similar documents without having a predefined set of categories. So I don't know how many categories are there. You're asking the algorithm to cluster, right? And then you remember I said that two groups are there. Let's name them, label them. So based on the speed, we said one is a dangerous driver group, the other is the normal driver, right? So you do the same, and then I told you can do categorization or classification, meaning that when a new driver comes in, I'll take your characteristics and then say, okay, you look like you are slow driver or a fast dangerous driver, right? Classification. So categorization is like classification. So already you have categories. You evaluate what is in the document, and it keeps talking about bitcoins and cryptocurrencies and so on. Oh, so it is a cluster. It goes to the cryptocurrency, cluster, not motivation and lifestyle group. Everybody understand?
Yes.
So you need to understand these terminologies coming from the text mining. Categorization, clustering, concept linking, connects related documents by identifying shared concepts. These are, you keep seeing motivation, so motivation is a concept. And you see that it is in all documents. So you say you're linking, concept linking means I see motivation. So this motivation is linking all those 5 documents. So this is called concept linking. So which concept is linking all these documents? Motivation, right?
So it depends on the concept, not the documents.
Yes, so you have to identify a concept, and if this concept is keep coming on all of them, so you say, okay, you don't say these are linked, you say linked by which concept? Linked by motivation, or linked by cryptocurrency, or linked by something else. Okay, concept linking. Question answering is best answer based on pattern matching. So whenever you ask about looking for rent, I say rent. It's an automated WhatsApp contact by an Akari. I say buy or ijar, right? So from this word you can expect what the person is looking for, right? in my question I say looking for something for a little baggy, right? So the automated reply can understand from your words that you're looking to buy something. Can reply it. So the automated reply could be, are you looking to buy an apartment or a house? You understand how this works? Text mining. So based on the words, you can reply. Question answer. So if you understand these things, so these are, as I told you, extraction, topic tracking. So very important application concepts that you must understand. So we were talking about which kind of concepts? Application concepts. So we'll continue in there, and you will see a lot of terminologies as compared to previous things. So text mining has a lot of things. So structured versus unstructured data. Now, do you see terms, concepts, stemming, stop words, synonyms, tokenization? You need to know all these terms to perform text mining. Again, these are defined on page 74 and 75. Again, you must know all of these because there can be a question that doing this, are you doing what? Tokenization or stemming or are you doing corpus? What? You understand that? So you will not be able to explain or do even MCQ, if you don't know these terms. Okay, so let's just jump in. So I've said that a lot of terms are explained on page 274-75, which is the next page. So I'm going to go again make use of those page. Let's start with something called unstructured data. Okay, so unstructured data does not have any predetermined format and is stored in the form of text. Meaning that if you go to an Excel file and say dates, do you believe that date has structure? It must have date, month, year, right? And it must follow certain format. Either could be, maybe there are different formats, but those are the only one, right? So structure. If you have your salary written, you must follow decimal places and so on, right? So structure to follow. So it does not have any formal way of putting them in columns and rows. You can write it in any way you like, right? Tweets. People write it, and if you copy it, put it in a text file, where is the structure? There is no columns, rows, or anything. But eventually, as I've shown discussed in the last lecture, unstructured data is very hard to analyze. The only way to analyze this structure is by reading. You read and you determine, right? So it doesn't work in text mining. So what exactly are you trying to do? And the rest of the concepts, all the things that we are going to share is to tell you that we can bring some structure to this unstructured data. You understand the purpose? We have unstructured data. We will use all these things to bring a structure to the unstructured data so that an algorithm, some computer can analyze my text. Okay, so you understand that? So let's start by all things one by one. The first term is called corpus. Okay, corpus. Corpus is nothing but your whole data set. So in text mining, they don't call it a data set or a text file. Corpus. Because your data set might not contain one file, but it may actually contain even files. I'm doing research and I have 50 research papers. So my corpus includes those 50 documents. You understand that? So corpus is the whole thing that contains all of the text that I need to analyze. Right? When I say a database, it is a single file with tables and rows and columns, right? So corpus can be a single document or it can be even multiple documents, right? It could be carry one document is a web page, the other is a PDF file, the third one is a Word file. So all together we call them what? We call them corpus. Corpus is in another word for it is just body. Body has arms, hair, so it carries all the whole data set. Then terms. Terms in text mining is the base. meaning that a word or a phrase, word meaning a single word, right? Phrase meaning 2 or 3 words together, right? So this basic initial data form is called a term. So a word could carry, maybe cryptocurrency is a word, right? But Bitcoin mining is a phrase, right? So it could be also, like a unit that we are looking at, terms. And by the way, all this comes under what is called natural language processing, and I'll talk more about concepts. Feature generated from a collection of documents. When you have either a large documents or multiple documents and they keep talking about motivation. So you call that a concept because it seems to be something that is being talked about in those documents again and again, right? Concept. Now this is where things started to get technical. Okay. Stemming. Stem? You know what stem is?
No.
Yes.
What is stem in Arabic?
Judar.
You have a tree
Yeah.
and then you have branches.
Yeah.
So, for example, you have in Arabic, let's say, a word called qawl, right? Saying. But in Arabic, you have qala, he said, right? Yakhulu. Yes? Takhulu, you say or you'll say, right?
Yeah.
Same word, different forms. Run, running,
Yeah.
right? Ran.
Yeah.
When your algorithm is looking at it, it's not intelligent. It will see all of it as different words. But they all have the same root. So you have to do what is called data pre-processing. Meaning that run, ran, running, you have to convert all of them to a single word. Let's say called run. You understand? Because it's the same thing is being discussed. Something about running. Motivate, motivated, motivation. I can convert all of that to motivation. You understand stemming? So you have a root and you have all those different forms. So you bring it all to the root. Everybody understand what stemming is? Reducing inflected words to their stem or base or root form. For instance, stemmer, stemming, stemmed. Their all base root is stem. So you convert that to stem in the whole document. So that the key concept is stem. Everybody understand that? So it is called stemming. One term is not mentioned here, so I'll not discuss that, but stop words. Now, I showed you word cloud. And I'll go back to this word cloud again and I'll ask you, do you believe that all these words are meaningful to you in your analysis, even the small ones? Active, quote, design, strategy, inspire. Size of the word depends on what?
The important.
How do you define importance? Frequency. How many times a word is appearing? Because it's important, that's why people keep talking about it. But do you think motivation is the most used word in your text? What other words in English are used quite a lot?
Attractiveness, like.
Like? Is the articles.
Yeah.
You understand what I'm saying? Is, was, where are those words?
Yeah. The comma maybe.
But my algorithm doesn't know that these are the words I am not interested in. Right? You understand now the next problem.
So it cannot be differentiated. What is the important and not important?
Yeah, how do the algorithm know? So we have then something called stop words. I'm going to tell my algorithm to remove a list of words from my data. Because is meaningless. R is meaningless to me. With is and R, I ran my algorithm and the biggest word comes as is and R. Okay, what do I do with that?
Nothing. No meaning of that.
You understand that? Pre-processing. So stop words are what words? They are called noise words. Words are filtered out prior to or after processing the natural language data. So I'm going to show you, because I have done a lot of text mining. You know, I still use that. So let me just go there. Let me show you that in our word. I'll show you a stop word. How does stop word look like? So okay. So I have a file called. Can you see the file called stop words?
Yes.
So I'm going to click it. So this is a list. I actually got it from a website, and then I added my own words to it. But do you see those common ones?
Yeah.
Use, we, very, want, wanted, was, worked, you know, so many things. You can add this to your own words if you like. So easy. Now there are dictionaries out there. You can just download and say stop words, common stop words. Remove please is, are, all, want, verb, after, again, against, all, almost, alone, along, already, also, although, always, among, and, another. You understand?
How to
These
do
words, stop words, are the words I wanted to throw out of my data.
But how can we do this? The stop word.
Yeah?
The way to do it, to stop words.
Stop words?
How can
Okay.
we do it?
So how because you asked, so very quickly I'll show you. Okay. So I'm going to orange now. You know the example I showed you. Orange is a very nice software because it very easily takes care of everything. It has its own stop word dictionary already available. You don't even have to add. Okay. For me, I was doing my own programming, so I had to provide. Even there are available. So just wait for a second and I'll show you. But everybody understand what stop word is. By the time it opens up, let's just continue talking, okay? Because orange initially takes a little time to open. Synonyms and polysemies. Synonyms are, you know what synonyms are?
Use related words or have the same meaning.
Same meaning. Okay.
Okay.
So different words that look different but they have the same meaning. For example, movie, film, motion picture.
Yeah.
Now, if they are the same words, you have to replace synonyms with a single word.
What do you mean?
In the text, when TextMine is working, it will see movie, film, and motion picture as three different things.
Okay.
So you have to replace movie, picture, motion picture with
So one word.
even maybe one term, whatever you like, either film or movie or motion picture, so that it understands that it is
Okay.
the same thing.
TV shows the same category.
It's you are defining it. If you feel that TV show is the same thing, replace. If you don't, then don't.
Okay.
Yeah, it is something you have to define. Okay, okay. So my orange is open. So because you wanted to see, let's see. Okay. Okay, it has pre-processing into it. Do you see this pre-processed text?
Mm-hmm.
Let me double click on it. Okay. Everything that we are discussing will be here. But do you see filtering?
Mm-hmm.
Stop words.
Okay.
If I check it, it will have English, Arabic, all these language stop words.
Arabic.
If I want my own, I can go and pick my own dictionary. You understand that?
Yeah.
I say filter numbers. Filter all these symbols, comma, full stop, semicolon, exclamation marks. You understand that?
Mm-hmm.
I can even filter, as I'll talk more about that, POS tags. I say keep only noun, remove verbs, adjectives. Ism, sifa.
Mm-hmm.
I wanted to just keep ism.
Uh-huh.
I don't want verbs. You understand that? So all these pre-processing is needed, and this orange can help you do that. Whatever you want to keep, whatever you want to remove. Okay? And it's not showing fully, but stemming will be here, transformation. Now can you see here transformation? I'm sure there must be like something called stemming here. Oops, where is that go? Okay. Lowercase. Sorry, tokenization. Maybe tokenization. I've seen that. I'm using it after a long time, but I can see there's somewhere there's something called
It's a page
where is that?
down and also the
Stemming. Do you see stemming?
stemming.
Yeah, there was. Maybe I need to look at it again. But you know the ones that stemming I was showing you, it is there. Okay. Anyways, just continue for on it. Okay. Sorry, wrong one. Okay. Stop words. Synonyms, right? So what is the other than polyseme? So this is very interesting concept. Sometimes it's the opposite of synonyms. You have multiple words, same meaning. But sometimes you have same word, different meanings. No, it depends. For example, do you know bow? Have you seen bow? This is because you're thinking about arrow and bow. You know ruku, what do you call that when you bow like this?
Bow.
It's also bowing. Right? So when I say, so same word, different. One is a weapon, the other is an act. One is a verb, the other is a noun. How do you recognize? You may have to even look at the context.
Like,
Give me a bow. Give me your bow.
Doctor,
You understand I'm talking about this, right?
like, Doctor, when you translate a word from English to Arabic, it has different meaning, but it is recognized from the text, from the sentence that came with.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. So context is very important.
Yeah.
Okay. So a word can have different meanings. You know,
Yeah.
when long time ago I was mentioning it to the other class, when I came, and I knew because of reading Quran, etc. You know, we know a little Arabic. Somebody says Ishlonak. I said
What he said?
Ishlonak.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Loud. Okay.
Color.
What about my color? What about my color? Then very quickly I realized because it was a language thing, right? So I said, oh, they're asking about how are you? How are
Yeah.
you feeling, right?
Yeah.
So loan here is used in a different meaning, right?
Yeah.
Not in the color sense. So many times context becomes important, right? So if you deal with that situation, what to do with that? So that is the thing. Tokenization. Now this is where structure starts to come in. Because tokening is giving each word an identifier. You know, you have an ID, you have an ID, you have an ID, right?
Yes.
So giving each word or phrase an ID is called tokenization. Word tokens, right? And then we have categorized block of text in a sentence so that we can recognize. So term dictionary, a collection of terms specific to a narrow field. So you put them, all those terms into a single dictionary, right? A single block. So you word frequency. I think you should know what word frequency means. So in front of each word, we will say how many times
Most used.
it is used, right? Motivation 200 times, lifestyle 150 times, right? You put frequency because frequency is an important concept in text mining because it tells you how much it is being discussed. Morphology is again has to do with when I said, you know, qala, yaqulu, takhulu, you know, so morphology is different forms of word. So this is called morphology. Now let's talk about the structure, term by document matrix. Now we are coming to the actual structure. Okay, so I'm going to show you what does structure means. A structure, because we cannot analyze unless we have a structure, so I'm going to go full screen. So I'm going to show you the structure, and this is where we have done stemming and stop words and tokenization and frequencies and everything. Okay, so now all that we are going to put that in what is called term by document matrix. So we have all these documents and we have all these words, we clean them up, stop words removed, stemming done, right? Then we identified to each word and then we had the frequency, so we will put them like this. A word complexity in all these words have appeared twice in document 1, thrice in document 3 and so on. And across all documents 3 plus 2 plus 3 plus 2, you know how many times it is being discussed. Right? Frequency. Now, like this, it's a matrix. Now, what is the advantage of doing this matrix? So, conceptually, without going into technical details, I'm going to show you. You're coming in front, sit.
Yeah.
Or go right or left. So, you can see here, so let me just zoom that in so that you will be able to see this better. Now, can you tell me what is being discussed in document 2 and 3?
Document 2.
2 and 3.
2 and 3.
Traffic and
Traffic complexity.
Traffic network.
Network, mostly network, traffic, maybe a little bit of something called conflict. But can you see that? Can you see that group? Network, maybe it is talking about this computer networks, traffic, algorithm complexity and so on. What about the other documents? 1, 4 and 5.
One complexity, algorithm, and
So they are talking about algorithms and what is the computational complexity of those and so on. Can you see the meaning coming out?
yeah.
So these are the tools used, and this tool is called what? Term document matrix. But there is a problem with this matrix. How many words can be there? Many. How many documents can be there? Many.
So
It's a big matrix.
so a big tables,
Big table with a lot of
cells.
empty cells.
Um,
So then what will happen is that you have tools that are built on top of it that are summarizing. You remember I showed you topic modeling in orange, where the customer review data was talking about battery life and camera last time, right? And headphone, headset, and all those things. So it's like this. A lot of documents are discussing battery life. A lot of documents review. You understand that? So what the next level does is summarize it further. Read what this document, this matrix is just giving you big picture, but I'm reading it now that some documents are talking about network traffic, because these two are coming together, right? You see that it says these are related words in the topic. So you can see that traffic network is forming like a topic because it's always coming together. And these are always coming together, these two, right? Algorithm complexity, right? So topic modeling. So all the list of words that are coming from was coming from here, and the process that is being used is called, one of them is called latent semantics indexing, and that is the process. This is reading from this table and giving you a topic list. Especially the ones that are coming together quite frequently. Everybody understand that? So you understand what latent semantic index? It is to summarize term by document matrix. So term by document matrix is to give you structure, a big summary. But this big summary is too big. So you extract more meaningful summary, concise summary through latent semantics index. Okay. So eventually you wanted to structure a collection of text, which I showed you. So all these tools that I'm showing about tokenization, stop words, removal, put them in a big matrix, right? So this is all to structure a lot of text. Previously, there used to be something called bag of text, but the new approach, the natural language processing, whatever I'm discussing was natural language processing. Okay, it is basically that is all there to structure the document. Okay, so NLP is the main purpose of NLP by doing all this is to help you understand what is there. So it's a subfield of artificial intelligence and computational linguistics, and the idea is to understand natural human language. And this NLP tries to differentiate between what is called syntax and semantics. You know, when I say semantics, the meaning behind the word. Like when I say this example of Ishlonek, right? The meaning behind the literal meaning is what is your color, right?
Mm-hmm.
But the meaning behind that is not what is your color. The meaning
Oh,
behind
like
how are you feeling? Yeah, how are you doing?
Like it's rain, dog and cats, or something like
Yes.
that's example.
Yeah, exactly like that. So in Urdu, there's a phrase like this where literally, if you translate, it says that your heart becomes garden. You know, if you just translate, it's so funny. But basically, it says that you're so happy, right? So one of the things that natural language processing is trying to do is to focus on semantics, meaning behind it. So how we are going to be capturing that, because there is a lot of challenge in it, because meaning behind the text is not easy. Humans understand, but computers don't understand, because natural language is vague. Vague meaning that, you know, when you say something, there are things missing. There are things used in different sense, right?
Computers translate our language to 1 and to 0 and 1. It's just like that.
Yeah, context is important. In which sense are you talking about, right? So there are a few more things that we will learn. One of them is part of speech tagging that is used on these words. So one of the things that was explained, you know, on the word file that I think I missed was called part of speech tagging, meaning that sometimes in the text you have, I think I mentioned that, you know, nouns, ism, right?
Yeah.
Adjectives,
Yeah.
sifa. So you may want to focus on concepts, meaning that you just need nouns, Bitcoin, currency, right? You know, those different cryptocurrency names, right? So names are important, but sometimes you're looking for sentiments. Maybe adjectives are important. Great, excellent, good, bad, poor, right? So now all those taggings are even important, okay? And taggings, by the way, when you say tagging, you know, you give, again, you know, just to, if you wanted to see, tags are given like this. So very quickly, if I can quickly show you. I hope I have not closed that. Not this one. Here. For example, can you see? If it is a noun, you tag it. It's like an Excel file. You say NN, that this is a noun.
No.
Okay. Then in another column it says NNS. It's a plural noun. It's a proper noun, right? JJ. It's an adjective. It's a comparative adjective,
Okay.
or it's a superlative.
Few letters represent a word.
Yeah.
Few letters represent a word.
The nature of the word. Is it ism, is it safa, right? And so on. So this is called tagging. So again, you know, tagging is used. Word sense disambiguation. You know what is ambiguity means?
No.
Unclear.
Oh.
So yeah, disambiguation meaning that to remove that. Okay. Syntax ambiguity, imperfect or irregular input. This is again a big problem that natural language processing faces. How many times you type a word in Google with wrong spelling and Google still recognizes that you're looking for that? Every day, right? So input error, irregular input. This is again a challenge that natural language processing faces, and people are trying to do speech acts. So the dream of AI community is to deal with this situation. Now, one of the biggest tools that that we use in text mining is called WordNet. You will always see WordNet, even in the orange somewhere you'll see WordNet. So when I'm replacing words, synonyms, where is this coming from? Or stemming, run, ran, running to run, right? Where is that coming from? Who carries all that information? So this is a big database created by people, and people are still contributing to it, and that database is called WordNet. So it's a laboriously hand-coded. Laboriously means some people have done really hard job to develop a database of English words. Maybe there's an Arabic WordNet as well, which contains what? The meaning of the word, the definitions, synonyms. This word, what are the similar other words for this word? Okay? Semantics. In what sense this word is used? Semantics. Especially in relation to some other words. So it is a very complicated document, but people have worked quite a lot on it. It's a major resource. There can be word nets for specific purposes, such as something called SentiWordNet. So if you're doing sentiment analysis, the example of which I gave you in the orange, it's a technique to detect favorable or unfavorable, good or bad, like emotional and positive, negatives. And we have a word net for that. So if you're hearing words like good, excellent, powerful, great, these are all categorized in the word net as positive. But if you hear things like sad, depressed, bad, ugly, right, terrible, so this word net can identify it as a negative sentiment. So, and this word net is called SentiWord. So you have to use these word nets to do your analysis. Okay. So we have talked about information extraction or information retrieval.
Doctor,
Yes.
today, to which slide we will stop? On what? Which slide?
I'll finish.
No. I'm asking. Just asking, not.
Yeah, very soon, inshallah. Just let me finish, okay?
Okay.
So, summarization.
Summarizing.
I have talked about question answering, recurrence, summarization, but let me talk about something new here, which is now becoming a big important area within text mining, and it's called natural language generation.
Natural language. What's that?
Not just reading and understanding it, but creating text.
Example.
You should tell me the example. You're using it even to submit your assignments.
Through Blackboard, you just.
No, not Blackboard. I'm not talking about Blackboard.
What's his question or your question?
Yeah. Okay. So he's asking what is natural language generation. I'm saying that I say natural language generation is a new area which is not about reading and understanding. It is about creating. So he said, give me an example. I said, you're using natural language generation tools these days to even write your assignments.
GPT.
Or email. Yes. I'm talking about ChatGPT.
Okay.
Generative AI, where you have to create. I get it emailed in such eloquent Cambridge, Oxford language email that I can easily see that this email is not written
By human.
not by human, by the student. I mean.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it has such high level vocabulary used that I'm pretty sure that person doesn't know even a line about what he or she does. Generation. But you understand generation meaning what? Creating text.
Okay.
Creating text. Machine translation. Google Translate, etc. So sometimes you have to translate. Reading, writing, and recognition. Okay? So its application in many. Customer relationship management, deception detection, like you getting an email saying, the email spam filter picks it up that it's just a fraud, right? So it puts out in the junk mail and so on. So research stream analysis, what is being discussed and so on. So I think I'm going to just discuss one more thing and then we can stop. The rest, the slide that I skipped are just examples, cases.
Mm-hmm.
So how do text mining overall done? You have an unstructured data, can have structured data with it together. And then you use certain software you need to have certain tools and techniques that we have been discussing, stemming and tokenization and all those things. And then you try to extract, analyze data onto it, and then you get context specific knowledge. Okay. So I think I'm going to stop here now for now. But before we leave, I need still your 5 more minutes about your project. Okay. So let me just go. Not this one, this one. So you must have seen the announcement.
Yeah. But
And-
why
Let
it's
me complete.
early?
Always before I start speaking,
Okay.
you stop me. So let me complete, then you can ask. Okay. So you have an announcement, and you have a complete description of project.
Okay.
Okay. So this is there. And most importantly, before I go to the document, we don't have a lot of time till exam. So the deadline is given to be 2 weeks, meaning that there will be no extension to the deadline, because otherwise I have to grade. You have to check your scores, make sure that there is no error in your scores and everything. So I need to finish everything before the exam start, which should be on 23rd of May or 26th of May, something. 23rd of May. So it's not very far. Okay. So we need to make sure that we have sufficient time to it. And so read this document, and I already told you what you're supposed to do. You have to think of a business problem that you're interested in. So I gave you examples about clustering, regression, text mining, right?
Yeah.
Orange. Even exact orange codes can be used if needed, right? So what you needed to do is to pick a problem, but because you're not working for a company and you don't have the data, so think of a problem that interests you, and I've given you at least 2 big sources, but it's not the only one. You can find it anywhere. But these places contain real company data. The companies who are willing to share their data, they're putting it here.
Mm-hmm.
Kaggle or even Saudi data, find a data set, right? Show it to me and tell me what you wanted to do with this data. You wanted to do clustering, regression, classification, something else. Okay? Discuss it with me. And here are a few examples. You found this data, you can do this. You found this data, you can do this, and so on. Okay? So here a few examples are given to you. Then see this very important thing. I told you that your whole project depends on CRISP method shown on slide 421 to 423. And this method says that define your problem. So your report should carry the same thing. You first have a section on defining the business problem, what data you need, and data preparation, meaning that I collected this data, and then you remember about data cleaning, checking for missing values, and whether there is any duplicate value, etc. Data preparation. See if you needed to do any descriptive analytics, meaning that you have to do. I showed you can do box and leaf plot, or the different graphs and charts I was showing you in the orange the other day, right? Scatter plot, etc. And then see if you can just think of what can you can expect. Just analyze that. Then you do actual orange modeling, right? Analyze and interpret the results. Like I showed you, clusters, 2 driver groups. See what those 2 driver groups are, right? And then this is also important, not because I wanted it, because college wanted it in every senior project at least, is you need to keep track of your meetings. You need to tell who's doing what. So take notes, minutes of the meetings, and tell exactly what the contribution of each person is in the group. Again, it's coming from there, and that is why teamwork is 5% higher marks. So the whole group needs to record it properly. Okay, it's part of now project based on the requirements for CBA, and the CBA it's given by CBA, not developed by us, that we have to follow this closely. So please see, even the report writing has to be analyzed much better, like exams. So we have to even grade properly. Okay, so please read it carefully so that you understand how grading will be done, the whole rubrics. Okay, and so because the time is short, I am expecting groups to not wait like 1 week and I don't see you. You understand that? You have to act quickly so that you finish within time. So it's just 2 weeks for you now. Maybe just within a day or two, find a data, find a problem. Just talk to me, via WhatsApp and everything. I'll try my best to respond to you as quickly as possible. You have your groups already, so there's no problem in creating groups or anything, right? Just find a data, think of a problem, share it with me that this is the data, this is the problem we are thinking, is this doable? What are the problems that we can face? Okay, yes.
Okay.
Take the data from this one, Kaggle and Saudi.
You will find. So click on it, search. For example, the real estate data I showed you, I went to Kaggle and I say real estate. And I got actually it was the data, I got it from the Kaggle
Okay.
to create this example.
So there we continue doing the project with Orange, right?
Yeah, so you get your first the data in the area that you are interested in. Because there will be so many data sets, just open and see.
Yeah.
See which one. Some data sets has 20 columns, maybe too complicated. See, something that you are able to see and understand easy, right? Then show it to me. Seeing that we have this data set, can we do clustering, can we do regression? So regression for what? Price prediction, something like that. We have to discuss.
Yes.
And then you go to Orange.
Okay.
And then you do it on Orange. You do first exploratory analysis, some graphs and charts to see what did you learn. Then you do clustering or classification or whatever, right? And then you analyze your results and khalas, you write the report, right? But in between, wherever you meet, even looking for the data set, please, meeting 2% out of the group, these two are part of that meeting, right? You did that, you did that. Even both did that, fine, right, both did that. But the report, at the end of the report, you must attach, everything. You are okay, brother?
Yeah.
Okay, you don't look well.
Now I have a headache, that one.
Okay. Salamat. I hope you get well soon, inshallah.
Thank you.
So you understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Things have to be reported. I need to see, not me, actually part of CBA requirement, we need to see everything. Okay? Is that clear?
Yes.
That is why I'm asking you to read this document more carefully than any typical project.
And submit the orange file, the graphs and
You have to submit the report. But in the Blackboard, I'll ask you to submit the report. But maybe I'll ask you to send me the orange file separately, maybe one person via
Or
WhatsApp
maybe,
or something.
Doctor, something easier, just to picture it and put it on the document.
You can. That is, of course, you must. But I may want you to see. I want you to see it running. So maybe you can just put the data file and the orange. One of you can send it to me on WhatsApp, just separately. Okay.
that will be great for the orange. That's,
It means that the actual analysis, meaning that you link the file, you run it. I can see even there are two parts: report in terms of English, in terms of structure, in terms of analysis, right? But in terms of technical side, are you able to develop the orange model correctly? Are you able to see the results? Have you done enough graphs and charts? What is needed, right? So the technical part is like the orange one, okay? And graphs and charts. The other one is how well your report is organized. Are you using wrong indentations and big and small, different fonts, etc. Yeah, the writing part. Yes.
Can you give us like a sample of the project so we can just...
We have already all the projects that orange zipped file on the. This contains all different kinds of
Like
examples.
a finished project and the whole report. Like a finished report, like what it looks like at the end, like when we're done with it.
This look. I'm teaching this course for the first time. Previously, they used to give it like MIS 455. Just go write 10 pages on something. I said, this is fourth year and you still make, just write, go copy paste from, make changes in the text from, meaningless, right? So this is because this is happening for the first time. So you can even share it with me on WhatsApp before. Is there
Yeah, I can
anything?
just show it to you with something.
So I can suggest. Okay, and see, you know, what elements we are looking for in the rubrics given, right? You need to talk about data, and you know, the CRISP methodology will help you also understand, you know, step 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, so each step will be like a subsection other than introduction and conclusion.
So
Okay.
the same thing is like a guideline, the CRISP method.
Yeah, it is a guideline which should be reflected in the report.
Thank you.
Okay. Okay, see you inshallah.